1993, and I love to tell this part of my story because people don't describe the enemy or Satan or Lucifer or whatever you want to call him. We don't describe him the way he is. We want to say, all the devil does is steal, kill, and destroy. That's not true. He can also help you to live in prosperity. And that's exactly what happened to me. I mean, 1992, I was in business, but all of a sudden, 93, I'm making all kinds of money. I started buying houses and rental houses and buildings, and all of a sudden, I went from a few houses to, by the time I went to Africa, I had 17 houses and 8 stores. That's how, and my business was booming. Everything I was touching my hands to was booming. And it wasn't God. I don't care what anybody says. It was the devil trying to keep me out of going to Africa. So finally, I started putting money into Africa thinking I could buy my way out. 1995, I'm writing checks out, a few $1,000s. 1996, and this was a lot of money back then, but it still is now.
So how did you even get into start giving money to Africa?
Because in my mind, I thought God needs my money more than he needs me. Because, I mean, at that moment, I didn't realize that it was the enemy allowing me to live in prosperity. I didn't realize it. You know, I just thought, this is God. God don't want me to be a missionary. Missionaries don't have nothing. Missionaries don't even own a house. You know, I'm thinking in my mind, you know. So finally in 1996, I went to a church and there was a missionary there. And I wrote out a check for $20,000, put it in the offering plate. And I'll never forget, I come home that night, it was a beautiful evening right here at my old house down the road. And I stood on the veranda, on the porch out front. And I started reminding God what I just did. That's how stupid I was. I started, God, did you see what I did tonight, God? God, did you see what I did? I just put 20,000. You know, and a lot of people tells me over the years, man, I wished I could hear from God. No, you don't. If you don't hear from God, don't desire to hear from him. Because he's going to shake your life up. He's going to stop all your plans. He's going to put you in his plan, just like it says in the book of Jeremiah. You know, it tells us he has plans for us. It don't say, hey, I'm going to share my plans with you and we're going to use our plans together. That's not what it says. He has plans for you. So I heard God that evening say, I don't need your money. I need you. So 1997, I started thinking, I'm going to trick God. I'm going to trick God, okay? This is how stupid I was, okay? So I'm going to go on a mission trip. I'm not going to do a normal mission trip. Normal mission trip in today's world, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's always been like that. So I'm going to go on a mission trip to Africa, but my mission trip, I'm going to plan 5 weeks. I'm going to take a pocket full of money with me. I mean, I have this all planned out in my head. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to feed starving people. I'm going to buy clothing. I mean, I went with thousands of dollars in my pocket because I was making it, man. And I literally in my head had it planned that I was going to come back home and I was going to say, God, I did it. I did it, God. And God, I might do it again next year. That's what I had planned. So I was going into South Sudan and also to put a roof, a special roof called a standing seam on a school for chaplains. So I get in there and I get up early one morning and I hear these soldiers talking about a village that was just raided. And I went over and I said, man, what you guys talking about? You know, and they said, oh, the LRA, the Lord Resistant Army. I don't know if you heard of them or not. They just raided a village not far from here. And I said, let's go. And they said, oh, Sam, we can't go, man. He said, there could still be rebels in the area. And I've always been kind of like Thomas, you know. They said, you know, Jesus has been resurrected. He said, I don't believe it till I see it. So I talked him into it. So we went, grabbed some guns, and there was like 5 of us. We get into this village. Everywhere I speak for years, I always say the same thing at every meeting. God will open a door for you. And everyone that's out there that's listening right now and hears this program, I want you to hear what I'm saying. God will open a door for you. When you stand in that doorway, the decision you make at that moment will determine your destination in life. When we get there, it was the worst thing I ever seen. You know, the rebels, when they go into villages because they're cowards, they know there's no guns. So they'll put their AKs over their shoulder and they pull out their pangas, machetes. The bodies were just chopped up everywhere. And the one soldier said, Sam, we got to go do a recon around this area. We got to look for children hiding in the bush, hiding in the buildings. And that was when God opened the door. We come across the body of a small child. Couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. Stepped on a mine or something happened to the child. But from the waist down was gone. And I couldn't understand, how can this happen? And that was the moment I said, whatever it takes, I'll help these people. And this fall is 29 years now I've been in Africa. And I can't leave.